thank you for joining me for yoga. My name is Kate. We'll start in a comfortable seat. Find your Sukhasana. Take that external rotation of the thighs if you like. Nice long spine. Float your eyes closed. Just feel what you brought to your mat for this practice. Feel what you brought physically, emotionally, energetically. Then begin to move into your yoga breathing. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Inhale. Exhale. As you inhale, feel the air filling your lungs, expanding your ribs. As you exhale, with control, empty out, making space for the next inhale. Continuing with this balanced breathing, Samavriti, aiming for the inhales and the exhales to be roughly the same length. Perhaps lengthening the duration of the inhales and the exhales over the next minute or so as we sit. We focus on our breath at the beginning of class to help us quiet our minds, clear away all the busyness or thinking that preceded coming to your mat. Getting yourself ready for your practice mentally as well as physically getting here. We're going to start this evening on our backs. So float your eyes open, turn to face the front of the mat, and vertebrae by vertebrae roll down onto your spine. Extend your legs long. And we'll start with Pavanamuktasana, beginning to open up in our hip. Bring your right knee, think of it towards your right shoulder or your right underarm. Gently pulling down, opening up in that hip, left foot is flexed. You may try to take your gaze down the midline of your body, feeling that opening in the hip. Release the right leg. Hug in the left knee. Again, over outside of your ribs and towards your shoulder or your armpit. Gently pulling down. Right foot is flexed. Gaze down the midline of the body. One more cycle of breath. Then extend the left leg. Bring your knees over your hips. Your shins are parallel to the ceiling. Your feet are flexed. Press your lower back into the earth. Take your arms out into cactus arms or goddess arms. Take your knees over to the right. Turn your head to the left. So opening up through the hip, feeling the opening in the front of the chest. Then come through center and simply switch sides. Take your knees over to the left. Turn your head to the right. You'll feel that opening in the front of the right chest and the right hip. Then come to neutral. Hug your knees into your chest. Maybe inhale your forehead to your knees. Rock up to a seat Cross your ankles, come over your knees, and we're going to come to plank pose. So think top of a push-up, engage in your plank. Puff up through your upper back, scoop your belly. Internal rotation of the thighs, press back through the heels. And we're going to take a slow Chaturanga Dandasana down to the mat. Feel free to bring your knees down to the mat. Slowly come down, chest touching before the belly if you can. Then we're going to come up through table and come to child's pose. Take your knees wide, hips back, forehead to the mat. Stretch through the backside body. You can make this more active by coming up on spider fingers and lifting your elbows and your arms and your head off the mat. Or more passive, bring your elbows down, your forehead to the mat. Then come back up to table, tuck your toes, lifting to downward facing dog. Spread your fingers wide, feet are about hips distance apart. Bend your right knee, melt through your left heel. Switch sides. Come back to neutral. Lift your right leg, but straight out of your hip. So it's like you're putting a footprint on the wall behind you. You're in down dog with that leg extended, taking a down dog cheetah. So stay in down dog, bring your knee to your chest, round your spine. Then step through between your hands, left knee down, top of the left foot. We're in a low lunge. Hands on your thigh, heart center, to the sky, you decide. Lowering your hips, isometrically pulling that left knee forward, feeling the opening in this hip flexor. Transitioning to Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Hands come down, great place for your blocks or your books. Scoot that right leg forward. Extend over your right leg. Moving the right hip back towards the wall behind you, pulling in your belly and folding. Feel that opening in your hamstring. As you come out of this, bring your left foot up to meet your right. Take your long spine. We're going to twist. So right hand is on the earth. Maybe it's on a block. Bend the right knee, left hand on your hip, and twist to the left. Arm can be to the sky. It can bind around your back, but twisting open. Take your forward fold. Sweep your arms high. Hands to heart center. Moving through a half sun. Inhale. Ride your breath into a forward fold. Inhale, lengthen to your spine. Exhale, let's step back to that high plank and find 8-limbed staff pose. Scoot your hands back, knees come down, stick your booty up in the air, chest between your thumbs, chin is on the mat, breathing into this. Press into your feet, slide flat on your mat. We're coming to Sphinx pose. You're up on your forearms. Press into your feet. Gently pull your heart space forward. Bring your forehead down to the mat, palm the mat. You can push up through plank. You may prefer to come through table and lift to down dog. Lifting your left leg straight out of the hip, Put that footprint on the wall behind you. Take your down dog cheetah. Bring your knee towards your chest. Step through to your low lunge. Bring that right knee down, top of the right foot. Hands can be on your front thigh, at your heart to the sky. Melting into that left heel, dragging that right knee forward isometrically. And breathing. Transitioning to our half splits. Extend that left leg. Aim to keep the right hip over the right knee. Left leg is long, that means that blocks or your books may be helpful. Hinge at the hip, extend. The left hip is moving back towards the wall behind you. Breathe into this hamstring stretch. Coming out of this, weights coming into the left foot. Right foot meets the left. We're going to take our twist. So again, use that block or your hands on the floor. I'm going to put it like that. Little bend in the left knee. Right leg straight to your degree and twist open to the right. Hand on hip, arm to sky, binding behind your back. Breathing into this twist. Now come to your forward fold. Inhale, lengthen to your spine. Ardha Uttanasana. Forward fold. Uttanasana. Sweep your arms high. Hands to heart center. So let's move through a Sun A or your modification on a Sun A. Start with your half sun, arms high. Take your forward fold. Anchor your hands, whether that's floor, blocks, or shins. Long spine. Palm the mat. Step back to your plank. You may bring your knees down, that's fine. Take your Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale into your back bend. I'm taking a cobra. You may take upward facing dog. Then come up through plank, or I'm going to come through table and lift to downward facing dog. In your down dog, inhale your right leg. This time lift it high as you can. Point those toes, spread those toes. We're coming to a crescent lunge. Step that right foot top of the mat. Back toes are tucked. Scoop your belly. Sweep your arms high. If your shoulders are up by your ears, relax them away. You're getting low in your front leg, pressing back with your back heel. Palm the mat. Come through cheetah, back to 3 points, so that right leg is high. Cross the right ankle over the left. Come forward to plank. Hold your plank. That's a lot. If you have the space, take a push-up. Otherwise, hold this plank. Pull your belly in tight. Back to 3 point. Right foot to the top of the mat. Left foot meets right. Long spine. Forward fold. Sweep your arms high. Hands to heart center. Anjali Mudra. Taking another Sun A. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Step back to your plank. Through your expression of Chaturanga Dandasana, inhale, Cobra, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Left leg nice and high. Point those toes, spread those toes. Step through, crescent lunge. Squeeze that right glute, press that right heel back. Breathe here. Palm the mat, come through cheetah, back to 3-point. Cross the left ankle over the right, coming forward to plank. And if you want to play with a push-up, maybe just bring your knees down. Take that push-up back to 3-point. Left foot to the top of the mat, right foot meets the left. Now I'm going to turn to face you. You're in that forward fold. Use your fists to place your feet 2 fists width apart. Bend in your knees, roll up to standing. So we're going to do 3 variations on Utkatasana chair pose. Feet are hips distance apart. Extend your arms, engage the muscles in your arms. Inhale, sit into an imaginary chair. Your booty's moving back towards the wall behind you, your fingertips towards the wall in front of you. Lift your heart. Come up. Keep your arms extended. Now playing with a little balance. Come up high on your toes. Imagine your back's against a wall. Slide down that imaginary wall. Hips come low, but no lower than your knees. Your back's against that imaginary wall. Whoops, playing with balance. It's a practice and not a perfect, that's for sure. And change. Come up to standing. Keep those arms engaged. You can try that second variation again if your knees are tricky. Otherwise, squeeze your thighs together. Come up on the balls of your feet and lower down slowly, 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 slowly. Squeezing those thighs together. Whew. Then with control, as slowly as you can, coming up to standing. Right foot meets the left, arms down by your side. So challenging for me today for sure. Meeting at the top of the mat, sun salutation, breathing, forward fold, lengthening your spine, plank. Decide how you might want to modify. Move through your sun A. When you come to downward facing dog, lift the right leg, bend at the knee, stack the right hip over the left. Knees lifting high, right heel towards the left glute. Extend that leg long. Step through warrior 2. Heels are lined up. Cartwheel your arms open. So bend into that front leg. And we're going to take eagle arms. Right arm underneath left. Wrap those arms like ropes or grab your shoulders. If you're wrapping your arms like ropes, lift your elbows. Now very actively press the right arm up, the left arm down. Feel that opening across your back, low in your hips. Release your bind, extended side angle. So this is the number one place to be. Forearm on your front thigh, arm can be to the sky or over your ear. You're opening up your heart. If you want to come a little bit lower, you can put your hand on a block, different levels, right? Maybe your hand is on the floor, but if your torso is collapsing down towards the floor like this, come up out of the pose a little bit and open your heart. Bring the left hand down, the left knee down. We're coming to a diagonal quad stretch. I'm going to give you options. So diagonal quad stretch, bend the left leg, reach back to the left foot with your right hand. You can come down on your forearm if you have the space. If this is not a good choice for you, come back to your low lunge, untuck your back toes, press into the top of your foot, lift your knee, lower your hips. You're going to get the same kind of opening. Come out of the pose wherever you happen to be, tuck your back toes, walk your hands to the left, quarter turn. We're going to take a low side lunge. Point your left toes out. I like to use a block in front of my foot. Bend into your left knee. Use your left elbow to press that knee open. You can keep the right foot flat, or you can spin up on your right heel. Long through your body, low in your hips to your degree, but long through your body. So crown of your head moving forward, hips moving back. Come back to neutral. Walk your hands to the top of the mat. Left foot meets the right. Ardha Uttanasana. Uttanasana. Sweeping up, hands to heart center. Sun A, we'll take it on the other side. Inhale. Forward fold. Inhale, long spine. Step back to plank. So we'll do a modification this time. Bring your knees down. Lower down. Take your cobra. And you can come up through table and lift to down dog. Inhale your left leg high. Point those toes, spread those toes. Bend at the knee, stack the left hip over the right. Really press into your left hand. The tendency is going to be to dump all the weight into the right. Back to 3-point. Step through to warrior 2. Now I'm going to turn around so my back isn't to you. So you're in warrior 2. The left foot is in front, bending into that left leg. Take those eagle arms. You're mirroring me. Left underneath right. Lifting the elbows. Left arm presses up, right arm presses down. Release, extended side angle. Great place to be. Another great place to be. You may have the bind, bringing your left arm under and your right arm behind your back. Feel free to take that. Opening your heart. Right hand comes down, right knee comes down, diagonal quad stretch. So that's Bending the right leg, reaching back rather with the left arm. Even creating the shape is going to be good, and you're really going to be working your hamstring. Or you can be in that low lunge, press into the top of your foot, lower your hips. Whichever makes sense for you. Coming out of this, tucking the back toes. So you're in this wide-legged forward fold. Remember, we're going to be bending into the right leg this time. Left leg is long. You can use that block to help you open that hip with your elbow. Left foot can stay grounded. You can spin up on your left heel, your choice. If you've got tricky knees, maybe keep your foot grounded. Come back to neutral. Walk your hands to the top of the mat. You're in a forward fold, long spine. Uttanasana. Come up to standing, hands to heart center. So take a cleansing breath here. So we're going to play with some balance. You may want to, I'm going to face you. You may want to have your black blocks on the high level at the top of the mat. Taking standing pigeon. Weights in the left foot. We're opening up the right hip. Maybe we're playing with balance. Cross the right ankle just above the left knee. And begin to come into a one-legged squat. You can play with the balance, or you can bring your hands to the blocks and really focus on getting low and feeling that hip opening. Pull your belly in tight. Get as low as you can. Now coming out of this, come to stork pose, just like this. This may be a great place for you to stay. If you've got big toe hold, hook your right big toe with your peace sign fingers. Begin to extend the right leg. Maybe left arm to the sky. You may instead choose to bind behind your thigh and extend the leg. A little gentler way to do it. Use your belly strength. Let's all float that leg if we can for 3, 2, 1. Bring the leg down. Taking that sequence, little sequence on the other side. Weights in the right foot. Cross the left ankle just above the right knee. We're opening up the right outer hip, among other things. Ooh, my balance tonight is tricky. Sit into your expression of standing pigeon. If bringing your hands to blocks or to the floor appeals to you, so you can focus on the opening as opposed to the balance, great. Otherwise, balance. Come up out of the pose. If you can, come directly to stork pose. Now decide, do I want to bind behind my thigh and extend the leg? Do I want to hook the left big toe and begin to extend the leg? Your left leg does not need to be perfectly straight. It may have a bend. That's okay, work in progress. Finding a drishti to help you with balance. Releasing the leg. Use your belly strength. To hold that leg up for 3, 2, 1. Left foot meets the right. Standing in your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Again, let's take a cleansing breath. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Float your eyes open. Taking your sun salutation. Inhale. Ride your breath into a forward fold. Draw length into your spine. You may choose to move through your sun A or come to your high plank and then lift to down dog. Another option. Inhale your right leg high. We're going to step through to warrior one. Right foot top of the mat. Spin the back heel down. Sweep the arms up. Coming low in your front leg. Squaring your hips towards the front of the mat. Pressing into the outer blade of the front foot. One day, maybe getting that front thigh parallel to the earth. Interlace your hands behind your back. We're going to take humble warrior. Roll your shoulder blades down your back. Inhale. Bring your torso to the inside of your right leg. Maybe moving towards the crown of your head on the floor. Moving towards it. Release your bind. Hands to the floor or to blocks. Grounded warrior 3. Left leg is straight back. Lift the muscles in the top of your right thigh. This is a great place to be. If you want to play with supreme balance, right hand to your right hip, left arm forward. Left foot meets right. You can feel that working in the back of your leg. And we'll take your expression of dancer pose. Weight in the left foot, left arm to the sky. I'll face you. Right arm out to the side. Bend the right leg, bind from the inside of the right foot. Roll that right shoulder back. This may be way plenty right here. Otherwise, begin to kick and reach 50-50 into the standing back bend. Step out of the pose. Find stillness. Taking that sequence on the other side. Move through your sun A. And modify in whatever way makes sense for you at this point. You may be beginning to get fatigued. Left leg is high. Find your warrior one. Squaring your hips towards the front of the room. Getting low in that front leg. If your shoulders are creeping up, relax your shoulder blades down your back. Coming to your humble warrior. Interlace your hands. torso down to the inside of your left leg. Arms overhead to your degree. Breathe very intentionally. Release your bind. Maybe you use blocks, maybe not. Float into your grounded warrior 3. This is a great place to stay. Foot flex, toes pointing down at the earth. If you want to play with supreme balance, left hand to left hip, right arm forward. Whoops, see? Right foot meets the left. Now taking that dancer, weights in the right foot, right arm to the sky, left arm out to the side. Bend the left leg, bind from the inside. This is a lot. You can also play with the idea of using the wall so that you can feel the back bend. Kicking up and back as you lift your heart and lift your gaze. Release this. We're going to come down to child's pose. If you'd like to move through a final sun A, that's there for you. Or you can step back and come to child's pose. So decide what your body's asking for. And we'll meet in child's pose. Knees wide, toes touching. Just make it passive. If you've come away from your intentional breathing, I'm a little breathless, talking and doing yoga poses at the same time. Use this nice passive pose to come back to your breath. As you're ready, come up to table, then down onto your belly for some back strengtheners. We'll start with Salabhasana B. Your feet can be zipped up. If your back is tender, you want to be a little bit more gentle, you can widen your feet out a little bit. So feet together or wide, chin on the mat, hands by your chest, and then slide them back a little bit so they're sort of at the tops of your ribs. Inhale, lift your chest, your gaze, your hands off the mat, your feet. Lifting and lengthening. Lower down. Left ear on the mat. Second Salabhasana, Purna Salabhasana, full Salabhasana. Arms out in a T. Again, feet wide, zip up your legs, chin on the mat. Inhale, lift your chin, your chest, your arms, your legs. You're flying. Angle your hands back, lift your chest even more. Come down. Rest on your left ear. No, rest on your right ear, looking to the left. Opposite side. That's the point. Getting it on both sides. Finally, we'll take a gauche lineage back bend. This is kind of a back sit-up. So everyone widen at your feet, wider than your mat. Your feet are not going to raise. You're actually going to press into the tops of your feet to focus on lifting your upper body. Your chin is on the mat. Your arms are out in a T. Press your feet down, engage your glutes, lift your heart. Angle your hands back. You are strengthening your back here. For 3, 2, 1. Come down. Find crocodile. Cross your wrists, elbows facing forward, forehead at the cross of your wrists. Rock your hips side to side. Pushing up to table, walking your knees towards your wrists. We're going to take 2 camels. I like to fold my mat because my knees don't like the hardwood. So my knees are about hips distance apart. Some of you likely have full camel in your practice, which is great. Take full camel. If you're going to take half camel, maybe if you've got a block or that book, you may only have one. Start by putting it by the outer blade of your right foot. Support your lower back. Elbows move towards one another. Just moving your elbows towards one another opens up in your chest. Hips and thighs forward. Lift your chest. You're already in a back bend. Maybe you continue to lift, moving your hips and thighs forward. You may be able to put your right hand directly on that block. Left hand to your heart, to the sky. I like to drop my head back. You can do that if it works for you, and breathe. Come up with control. And just sit back on your heels, neutral spine. And that goes for, if you did a full camel, same thing, just neutral spine. We're going to round in a bit. Taking that half camel on the other side, if you liked using the block, put it by the outer blade of your left foot. Come up onto your knees, support your lower back, elbows towards one another. Hips and thighs continually moving forward. Lift your chest, lift your gaze. And again, if this feels right and comfortable, stay here and breathe. If you can continue to lift and bring your left hand to the block, great. Right hand to your heart, to the sky. Lift up. Nice. Sit back on your heels. Just take that neutral spine. So in that back bend, we've taken maximum compression. Now we're going to reverse and we're going to round. So let's all of us start with a rounded child's pose. Knees and ankles together. Pull in your belly, tuck your chin, hands behind you, roll and round forward. So now you're taking your spine in the opposite direction. Come back up to sitting on your shins. Options here. If you have headstand in your practice and you want to get in a headstand, this is a perfect place. For the rest of us, we're going to do an inversion called Sasangasana, which is rabbit pose. It's all about rounding. It's all about really pulling your belly in tight. So you start sitting in Thunderbolt. Reach back. Grab the soles of your heels. Your thumbs are on the outside. Pull your belly in tight. Tuck your chin. Pulling your belly in tight continuously. Look at your belly. Round forward. Crown of your head is on the mat. Crown of your head is on the mat. Your eyebrows are kissing your knees. Lift your hips. Lift your hips until your arms straighten. Pulling your belly in tight continuously. Maybe press your legs into your arms and your arms into your legs. Bring your heels together. Then roll up out of your rabbit pose. Rabbit's an inversion. It helps you build the core strength that you need for headstand. Let's come to table. Take a couple of rounds of cat and cow. We're going to take half pigeon. So step your right foot through to the top of the mat. Walk your right foot over to the left. Bring your right shin down. Your right hip is grounded. If that means putting something underneath your right hip, that's fine. But ground your right hip. If there's a bend in your left leg, that's okay. Nice long spine. Extend over that right shin. Feeling the opening in the outer right hip. And breathe into this pose. If this is absolutely not your cup of tea, I want you to take reclining pigeon. Roll down onto your spine. It's just like the standing pigeon we did, only you're laying down. Cross your right ankle above your left knee, bind to the back of your left thigh, and pull your legs gently towards your chest. Your head is relaxed on the floor. Same pose on a different plane. Well, it's actually on the same plane, but in a different shape. So if you're in half pigeon on your belly, put your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your chin, roll up, come back to table. If you're in reclining pigeon, come back to table. We'll circle that right hip. Both directions. And simply take the other side. Step the left foot to the top of the mat, walk it to the right. Left shin parallel to the top of the mat, left hip anchored. Right leg straight to your degree. That may be not very straight at all. Long spine, extend over your left shin. Reclining pigeon, you'll roll down onto your spine. Cross the left ankle just above the right knee. Bind to the back of the thigh. Both variations on the pose, opening up that outer hip. Use the slightly longer hold to take all the focus to your breath. Find the shape of the pose and breathe. Come up out of the pose to table. So we'll meet in table. Circle that left hip a couple of times in each direction. Then cross your ankles behind you, sit back behind your heels, extend your legs long. And we're going to take a twist, Ardha Matsyendrasana. I'm going to face you, so you're going to mirror me. Take the right leg, cross it over the left. If it works for you, you can tuck the left leg in. You don't need to. Find length in your spine, twist to the right. You may hook your tricep and look back around behind you. Inhale is long spine. Exhale is twist. Unwind and go ahead and take a counter twist, twisting to the left. Release this. Extend the legs long. Left over right. Bottom leg straight is just fine, or you can tuck it in. So this time I'll keep it long. So long spine, twist to the left. Hook that right arm perhaps. Inhale, crown of the head towards the ceiling. Exhale, twisting back towards the wall behind you. Release this. Take your counter twist. Come back to neutral. We're going to take Baddha Konasana. So I'm going to turn, you're going to make a diamond shape, press the soles of your feet together. As much as possible, think about hinging from the hips as opposed to collapsing and rounding. So press the soles of your feet together, pull in your belly, and take that fold. You may use your elbows to begin to press your legs down towards the earth. Inhale up. Bring your feet onto the mat, using your belly strength. Vertebrae by vertebrae, come down. Scoop your belly. A little bit of core work here. Find your happy baby. Bringing your knees towards your shoulders, flexing your feet, binding to the outer blades of your feet. Gently pulling down, maybe rocking side to side. Then releasing the pose, extending your legs long, finding your Shavasana. Take your feet wide, let them flop open. Arms by your side, palms up. Get comfortable. Maybe bring your shoulder blades underneath your back. Find a place where you can relax and restore for the next couple of minutes. Eyes are closed. Let it all go. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana for longer than just the couple of minutes that we've had, please feel free to do so. If you'd like to end your practice in seated gratitude, begin to take some small movements, waking up your body, wiggling your fingers and your toes, stretching your arms back towards the wall behind you, your toes long towards the wall in front of you. And hug your knees into your chest and rock side to side on your spine. It should feel good, like a massage. Just side to side. And come over onto your right side using your arm as a pillow. And just as we did at the beginning of class, scan your body. Physically, how do you feel different from an hour ago? You created some length and some space. Mentally, do you feel some peace and some calm? Energetically, you ready for more rest? Are you gung-ho to go get some stuff done? Push up to a comfortable seat. And bring your hands to heart center. Again, my name is Kate. I want to thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice. We'll end by honoring one another's spirit with Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Stay healthy, and I hope to see all of you in person, maybe in May. You never know.